Tessa, a young and enthusiastic student, embarks on her new university life far from home. She can rely on the unwavering support of her caring mother and loving and considerate boyfriend. In her university dorm room, she meets her roommates, Steph and Tristan, two relaxed young girls. However, Tessa's protective mother quickly leaves when she senses a suspicious smell of marijuana, despite her daughter's assurances that everything will be fine. Before departing, she proudly expresses her confidence in Tessa and wishes her good luck in this new phase. Tessa's boyfriend also bids her an emotional farewell, promising to stay in touch. The next day, an excited Tessa prepares for her first classes and meets London, a literature student like herself. They are both excited about taking their courses together. Returning to her room, she is surprised to find a young man, introduced by Steph as a friend. Unfortunately, he accidentally ruins the ending of The Great Gatsby, the book she was reading, much to her disappointment. The following day, Tessa is surprised to see him again in the library, the same intriguing guy from the day before. They exchange a brief glance and she feels a flutter in her heart. Later, her friend Steph invites her to a party. Tessa hesitates, but decides to switch things up and wears a dress for the occasion. Steph rejects her outfit as too conservative. At the party, Tessa meets Steph's friends, who encourage her to take a chance after making fun of her during a wild game of truth or dare. Tessa avoids disclosing her sexual history and opts for action instead. A shady guy offers to assist her in taking action, but Tessa wants nothing to do with this nonsense. She calls her boyfriend, but he chastises her for drinking. She seeks solace in a quiet room filled with books, where she encounters the shady guy once again. She fears he might be drunk, but he pretends to be sober. He takes her hand and confesses that it's his room. He attempts to kiss her, but she resists and leaves for her own room. She receives messages from Noah warning her about potential issues. The next day, Tessa enters the classroom still feeling the effects of the previous night. She spots London, the kind young man she had assisted, and joins him in the front row. However, it's at that moment when Hardin Scott, the rude stranger who had kissed her and later mocked her, enters the room. Tessa feels a surge of anger as he and the professor engage in a heated argument about love, their words oozing with contempt and disbelief. The class ends in the blink of an eye, and Hardin departs with a mocking smile. Tessa complains to London about his rudeness and learns a shocking truth: Hardin and his half-brother. That night, Steph, Tessa's adventurous roommate, encourages her to get a tattoo. While Steph talks about her numerous lovers, Tessa's mind drifts to Noah, her only boyfriend and her mother's favorite. Later, as Tessa watches Steph in action, she looks away, suddenly feeling innocent. As Tessa falls asleep, her piercing grey eyes and the harsh words of Hardin linger in her mind. She strangely feels drawn to his mysteriously dark side, which threatens to shatter the simple life she has always known. The next day, as she sips her coffee, Hardin Laborde approaches her, claiming to want to be her friend since they have Steph as a mutual acquaintance. He suggests going to a place he knows, but she is hesitant. She's ready to decline, but something holds her back. She gets into his car and they drive for a while until they arrive at a place that resembles a wild forest. He walks into the trees until Tessa spots a vast lake. He tells her it's his secret hideaway and asks her to swim. He undresses and jumps into the water, encouraging her to follow. He hands her his t-shirt, averting his gaze as she puts it on. He gently leads her into the water. Mischievously, he warns Tessa not to believe every word that escapes his lips, triggering contagious laughter between them. As if guided by destiny, Steph and another close companion unexpectedly join Hardin, sparking murmurs of curiosity among the onlookers. Later, with a hint of regret in his eyes, Hardin confesses to Tessa that their adventures have been thrilling, but that the idea of dating someone eludes him. Just as Tessa was about to reveal their connection to her boyfriend, she notices a silent disappointment on Hardin's face. As she leaves their encounter, the morning sun illuminates her dorm room, briefly reviving hope in her soul just before it's shattered by the realization that it was all just a dream. The next day, Noah surprises her with flowers at her doorstep. He has come all this way for her. Noah and she head to a party that night where Steph and her group play a game of passing a card with their lips. Tessa refuses to participate, making Noah clingy, while Hardin intervenes and sparks a fight. Hardin storms off later in the evening, leaving Tessa to watch a movie with Noah, but something troubles her. She receives a call from London, who asks her to find Hardin, as they had argued and he had mentioned her name, so maybe she could calm him down. She discovers that Hardin is furious because his father is marrying London's mother, while his own mother lives in squalor in London. He breaks a glass, and Tessa gets hurt trying to pick it up. He takes her to his room and apologizes for his earlier behavior. Hardin admits he's a mess, and Tessa agrees. They feel drawn to each other and end up sleeping together in his room. She wakes up to find Noah extremely worried. He sees Hardin and understands what happened, leaving without saying a word. She returns to her dorm, devastated, while Molly mocks her. Tessa feels like she has betrayed her best friend, and her emotions are too complex to express. She's depressed in class and tries to talk to Noah. The young student accidentally encounters Hardin in a chance meeting, and as they talk, she opens up to him about her painful past marked by her father's departure. When she was 10 years old, she also mentions Noah, her childhood friend who has become a pillar of support for both her and her devastated mother. Tessa and Hardin's friendship gradually evolves into a deep romantic relationship. They share moments of intense and intimate closeness. However, Tessa's mother vehemently opposes their relationship upon discovering their intimacy, fearing that Hardin will hurt her daughter. In the face of her mother's opposition, Tessa asserts her independence and determination to live life on her own terms. Troubled by her situation, she confides in her friend London about the complexity of her romantic relationship with Hardin. London advises her to be cautious in this complicated relationship. Hardin takes her to a comfortable house owned by a friend of his father, who is currently in Italy. He suggests that they move in together because his mother has disowned him. They settle in and enjoy their happy relationship, sharing many moments of laughter and happiness while exploring various places. Hardin is amazed that Tessa is his, and he feels unworthy of her love. Tessa, on the other hand, is convinced that nothing can ever change the feelings she has for him. They attend the wedding of Hardin's father and London's mother, where they meet Karen and Ken, Landon's parents. Karen and Ken warmly welcome Tessa, but Hardin is furious to see his father with another woman. Tessa tries to calm him down, but he remains bitter. Ken delivers a speech praising Hardin, but Hardin is clearly not receptive to the praise. "But the latter," he said quietly, "that's not the man I was raised to be." He says he's changed, but some things never change. He reveals a painful memory, one in a pub where his father provoked thugs who later came to their home and assaulted his real mother. After the speech, he dances and looks into his own eyes. He slips into a room where Tessa initiates a passionate moment. One day, Molly's jealousy towards Tessa becomes evident when she questions her about her boyfriend. Tessa keeps Hardin's secrets, but Molly sends a text from her phone that makes Tessa doubt him. She confronts him, but he asks her to trust him and assures her he has nothing to hide. She waits for his call but receives a message from a friend telling her to go to the funny videos and reveal Hardin's secrets. She meets Jade in the car, who tells her that Hardin might be at Blind Bob's. There she encounters Steph and her friends, who reveal to her that Tessa and Hardin are living together off campus. Molly drops a bombshell. It's not what she thinks, but worse. She shows Tessa a video from the night they played Truth or Dare for the first and last time. Hardin had accepted the challenge of making Tessa fall in love with him and then breaking up with her. Tessa is stunned and devastated. He denies the facts, saying it was in the past and that his feelings are real. She leaves without looking back, feeling like she has no one in the world. She goes home and hugs her mother, apologizing and expressing her love. Then she visits Noah, who is surprised to see her. She tells him she never meant to hurt him, and he forgives her, and they share a laugh. Tessa is at a turning point in her life. She has decided to give up economics and pursue her passion for English literature. As she is about to send an email announcing this change, she has no idea that destiny is already at work. Meanwhile, Hardin is struggling to accept their separation. Memories of their tender and passionate moments fill his mind, and he longs for Tessa's presence in the midst of it all. Tessa receives an invitation to a highly sought-after internship at Van's Pug. At the same time, her professor hands her an envelope from Hardin. Inside, she finds his notebook filled with sketches describing their love story. He also expresses his realization that love is not just fiction, but something real and transformative. Hardin apologizes for the pain they both endured on the path to healing and redemption. In the end, he declares that Tessa is the one he cherishes the most. With these final words, the movie reaches its climax. That's my summary of After Ever Happy, the film that makes you wonder if Tessa and Hardin will ever truly be happy. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you want to see more summaries of my movies, check out the videos on the screen. Until next time.